If you're here, you are probably either unschooling curious or unschooling skeptical. Either way, welcome. I am glad that you're here. My name's Katie, and I have three kids. They are 19, 17, and 2. I've been unschooling for over a decade, and I also have degrees in developmental psychology and child and adolescent development. So I come to this from both the side of research and from the real life trenches. And today I want to talk about what people get wrong about unschooling. First, let's start with the basics. What is unschooling? Unschooling is a form of home education that focuses on child-led learning. It is about trusting children to follow their own curiosity. The role of the parent is to create a rich and engaging learning environment and to model lifelong learning. It's to nurture education and not force it. Author and educator John Holt, who is considered the father of unschooling, said that children learn from anything and everything they see. They learn wherever they are, not just in special learning places. Unschooling is rooted in the belief that children are naturally wired to learn. From the moment they are born, they are naturally curious. They are constantly experimenting to better understand the world around them. Our job isn't to fill their heads with knowledge, it is to keep that spark alive. And this is where a lot of misconceptions come in. So let's talk about what unschooling is not. It is not the same as educational abandonment. It isn't handing a kid an iPad and walking away. It isn't saying good luck and hoping for the best. In fact, good unschooling is incredibly hands-on. It requires being present, engaged, and deeply in tune with your child's interests and needs. It is about modeling how to be a curious person and deeply learning yourself. You have to be excited about learning too. And I get where the misconceptions come in because there are social media influencers out there that are presenting something that they claim to be unschooling, but is really just avoiding all structure, all support, and all responsibility. And that's not unschooling, that is neglect. Unschooling requires that you provide your kids with a learning-rich environment. Books, tools, experiences, conversations, open time for play, freedom to explore new ideas. We encourage, we model, we trust. And yes, I said trust. That is the hardest part for most parents, especially if you grew up in an environment with the rigid idea of what education is supposed to look like. But here's the thing, learning not only happens in classrooms, it happens in kitchens and backyards, in YouTube rabbit holes, playing Minecraft, at the grocery store, in the garden, if we allow it. I've seen firsthand what happens when children are in control of their education, what it looks like when they own their learning. My older children are 19 and 17. They both started to use curriculum as they got older because they wanted to. One was accepted into college at 16 and the other at 17. And no, unschooling doesn't mean no curriculum. Curriculum is a tool, and when it's chosen by the learner, it's powerful. It also doesn't mean no school. One of my daughters did choose to go to school for 4th grade and then also for one day of high school, which it was only one day because she quickly realized that the other kids do not want to be there and the teachers were bitter about it. But she made those choices and we supported them. And that's what unschooling is really about, letting your children lead. Now let's talk about the science for a minute. Developmental psychology shows us that intrinsic motivation, the internal drive to learn, is so much more powerful and lasting than external rewards or punishment. Play, exploration, curiosity, it's not extra. They are the foundation of how children learn. And when those things are supported, not suppressed, we have better long-term outcomes in creativity, in problem solving, emotional regulation, and even in academic skills. Studies show that homeschooled and unschooled students perform equal or even better in both academic skills and social skills, especially when the learning is supported by engaged, responsive adults. Let's be real for a second. Unschooling goes against everything that we've been taught an education is supposed to look like. It is hard to step out of that system, and it can be really scary. We've been conditioned to think that if a child is not being tested, graded, or assigned homework, then no learning is actually happening. And that cannot be further from the truth. It takes courage to say, I trust my child. But it takes even more courage to say that I trust myself as a parent. After more than a decade of unschooling, here's what I know. Kids learn best when they feel safe, free, and seen. They need space, support, and the freedom to follow what excites them. They need our presence, not our control. Unschooling is not the absence of education. It is where the real learning takes place. So if you're a mom standing on the edge of unschooling, wondering if it could really work for you and your family, just know you're not being reckless, you're being brave. You're not stepping away from an education, you're stepping towards something that is more meaningful, something rooted in trust, curiosity, and connection. Whether your path is going to look like full-on unschooling or something a little bit in between, just know that you can trust your child and you can trust yourself. Don't let a broken system define what learning should be. Let curiosity guide you. Let joy be the measure. Here on Raising Wildflowers, I believe that children are like wildflowers. They should be free to grow in their own time, in their own way, drawn by wonder, not by force. Not trimmed to fit in, not trained to perform, just gently tended, deeply trusted, and wildly loved. If that vision speaks to your heart, I would love for you to subscribe. Maybe share this with another parent searching for a different way. This is a community for parents to support each other and to bounce ideas off of each other. And let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about unschooling. Thanks so much for being here.